Alright, so the next tip, which would be tip two, is something that a lot of people. It's not something you're going to learn right away. It's something that actually, you learn as you go, learn as you play, practice, 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 because everybody suffers with it. No matter how good you are, there's always going to be that one time where you slip up, and that is map awareness. Now, map awareness basically consists of knowing where you are, knowing what's going on in your surroundings, and it actually becomes easier depending on which game you're playing because some MOBAs have different camera styles, some have the over the top, and some have the third person and the first person. Now, it's a lot harder to check your map surroundings in first person and third person, but it is what it is because basically you have to constantly be looking around. You have a wider vision on third, but first you have to constantly be looking back. Basically like you're playing a first person shooter. You know how like if you're playing a first person shooter, you generally always look behind you every so often. To make sure you're not going to get flanked or whatever. It's the same principle in a first person MOBA, which is the only one that does that is actually Battleborn. So unless you play Battleborn, that doesn't really apply to you. But the ones who do third person are Paragon and Smite. Now, it's a lot easier for that, but for this instance, we're going to use Paragon as an example for map awareness. So basically, as you can see here, I'm basically in a lane, middle lane, Iggy and whatnot, and I'm going against I forget his fucking name. I think his name was he's like the Malzahar equivalent of from League. Gideon. There you go. His name is Gideon. This popped in my head. I'm pushing him for a good while, and then I'm like completely not really going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. I'm like, okay, so I'm making progress, etc., etc. We're good, we're good, we're good. And now I'm laning, and then all of a sudden, uh, I forget this guy's name, but someone comes in behind me and starts pushing my butthole in, and I'm like, oh shit, oh no, and then I retreat, retreat, retreat. It's a tarp, and unfortunately, I didn't escape, as you see here. So that's basically all map awareness is. Now that's a bad example of map awareness. Now this, I'll show you a good example, and basically all that happens, I'm laning. I'm like, okay, what's going on? I'm laning, and then I'm watching the map. I'm watching my mini map, and one of my teammates needs help. So basically, I'm going over there because one of Iggy's skills, is a knockback. So I go in, I get in front of him, and he's getting pushed by three people, and boom, gets knocked back. He's saved. He still wants to pursue him, so I'm like, okay, I'll slow him some more, or at least damage him. And there you go. That's basically a good example, and that is pretty much all map awareness comes down to, but not necessarily, because it does actually consider it does tie into when to rotate and when to go to an objective. So here you're gonna see me basically just not paying attention. It's a bot game, I'm not gonna throw a game intentionally, so it's a bot game. But there's an objective going on, and I'm not paying attention. Blah blah. I'm just pushing the lane, and a lot of people have this issue with heroes, especially, which is why I chose this for a reference. A lot of people have an issue with this because they're still in the mentality state of League and every other MOBA that doesn't have let me rephrase from that, a traditional MOBA. And everybody says that mentality that, all you need to do to win is just push a lane. Here I am just, pushing the lane, because if I push the lane, I win, blah, 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 blah. 9 times out of 10, if your team isn't good enough, they're gonna lose, and then it's gonna start the whole toxic blaming fest. You fucking noob, you didn't rotate. What the fuck you doing? This isn't League. Blah 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 blah. And etc. etc. That's a bad example. Now, this one is a good example of a proper rotation for objectives and basic, or on when to rotate for a team fight to help a teammate, or just a pure objective. Period. And with that's basically all map awareness consists of, is paying attention to your map, watching your surroundings, making sure that you're not going to get butt fucked, helping your team, make sure your teams don't get butt fucked. You got to be your teammates' butt protector. And that's all it comes down to. So, there you go. I will see you next time on tip 3.